Hey guys, welcome to Homesteading Through Our Eyes. It is our third year in the yurt, hence third year in the summer, hence third year in the heat. It is hot. It has been hot. We've been dealing with it better. So here's how we have dealt with the heat. One of the first things we did, which was actually for wintertime, we put skirting on the bottom of the yurt. We did this so that the cold air wouldn't blow through and it would kind of trap some of the air inside and not let it move around as much, and it would heat up a little bit, and it helped over the winter time keep it a little warmer, and it's definitely helping over the summertime here, keeping it cooler. Last year the wind would blow through and you could literally feel it the same temperature outside as under the yurt, and this year when we go under there to bring stuff out of storage, you can definitely tell that it's nice and cool under there. The chickens hang out under there a lot, and they love it as well, and it definitely keeps the temperature inside the yurt a little bit cooler. The second thing we did was put a blanket on the dome. Last year we had a double-sided Mylar bubble wrap, and it was kind of placed up in there strategically. It kind of helped a little bit, but it wasn't so breathable, and it was kind of trapping some of that air inside the yurt. So this year I went up and I took a blanket that kind of had like a leafy fall type theme to it, kind of make it look a little good, and I figured the sun would shine through the lighter areas, which it did, and it kind of looks fairly nice for being a blanket up there. What this blanket allowed for was nice airflow. On a windy day you can actually see the blanket rising and dropping a little bit, and we can definitely tell a flow of air goes through that blanket. It's very, very thin. It's threaded very thin. It's not, a thick blanket whatsoever. The reason that we put the Mylar in last year was because we thought that it would reflect some of the light back out of the dome, and with the air not being so easily transferable, it got trapped and heated up a little bit more than we liked. It did help because if you don't have the dome cover at all, it is like a death ray from the sun coming down through there. I mean, if you stand in the sunbeam, you could probably get a sunburn after a minute. So the blanket, the darkness of the blanket also helps cover up that sun. It does just as well as the Mylar did, but it allows for that breathability. It's our third year, so that also means it's the third year that our little area that we cut out in the woods has started to regenerate a little bit, and the trees that we didn't cut down that are around the perimeter of the yurt are kind of growing in towards the middle, giving us, a half an hour here and there of extra shade. As the years go by, it'll get a little bit more and more shaded by the trees. We are allowing some trees within the immediate perimeter of the yurt to grow in to try to provide some shade. The sun is what really heats up the yurt, so the shade is huge. The fourth thing that helped out, that we also kind of did to move some of the hot air around in the wintertime, was got another fan. So we have these Ryobi fans, and they do push a good amount of air around. They have a high power, low power, and these have kind of been a lifesaver at night. You get the air moving a little bit, and you can kind of tolerate it. We also were lucky enough to find a bunch of Ryobi batteries and found a deal at a garage sale. I think we ended up picking up like 6 extra batteries plus like 6 extra tools for a really good price, and that helps as well. Having many batteries on hand, keep the fans going almost at all times. Putting them on the windows, hanging on hooks, having them point in and get some of the cold air from outside in here at night. The fifth thing that we've been doing is every once in a while, if we feel like it, which we're lucky to be able to do, we can just leave when it gets too hot and go elsewhere. My mom lives close enough, she's got a pool. Flowing River's mother lives close enough, she's got a cold basement. And going to the creek, wonderful time. Head on down to the creek and take a swim and hang out in the water, and it's a great way to beat the heat. The sixth and seventh thing we do kind of blend together. When it gets hot in the yurt, we just go outside. It's way cooler outside than it is in the yurt. Most times in the summer, including nighttime. We also do outdoor showers, so those are lovely as well. I think I've taken 3 already today. It's a great cool down. We throw the 5-gallon bucket of freezing cold, I shouldn't say freezing, but damn near freezing cold well water up onto something high and release the hatch, and at first you can barely stand in it, it's so cold. Cools you down quick, cools you down nice. It's outside. I don't know if anyone has ever had the pleasure of showering outside, but it's pretty amazing. I highly recommend it. On to our 8th and final thing that we can think of that will help beat the heat: just getting used to it. If you're always in the AC and you don't acclimate, you will not be used to the heat. You know, an 80-degree day will feel like the worst day ever, and you really would be surprised at how, if you spend some time in the heat and the sun, at how your body adapts. We spend a lot of time in the garden, outside in the straight sun, meanwhile working hard, picking up a sweat, really getting hot, while your body is doing projects and working hard. You don't really have time to think or complain about the heat, and you are definitely hot when you get done. Nice quick cold shower to cool you back down, you're good to go. But the rest of the time spent after that is now not so hot, because you've been working and sweating in that heat already. Your body said, wow, this is hot, I need to do something about it. Let's start regulating temperatures, bring it down a little bit, and as I said, you'd be amazed at what your body could do to regulate your temperature. Get out of that AC, or at least turn it way down. All you need is a little bit. Health tip too. As I said earlier, this is our 3rd year, so it did take us some time to get used to it. The first year in here was absolutely unbearable. We even skipped out a couple nights and went and spent the night somewhere cooler. We didn't have the fan, we didn't have the little, ins and outs of the airflow. We didn't have shade from the trees, so it was quite hot. we also didn't have the experience. So experience and time and getting used to it are the main aspects. With all that being said, we are still trying to keep it cooler in here. We recently started doing earth pipes. We got about a quarter of the way through the digging by hand and ran into a huge boulder. So that halted the project. We're thinking about possibly renting a backhoe in order to do it, but we do plan to finish those at some point, hopefully by next summer. And we're hoping that this will be the biggest change to the temperature inside the yurt. It will pretty much be like a natural AC, and we're hoping that we'll be able to close everything up, leave the dome open. A nice cool air that was cooled down by the earth will come into the yurt and cool the yurt down, and it'll be very pleasant in here. Fingers crossed. If you have any experience, let us know. That's how we've been beating the heat. If you have any experience in beating the heat in the yurt, please let us know. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and jot that down in the comment section below. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help us out. We're fighting the good fight. Check you soon. Peace.